What's up? It's Rashad Antonio. We are the Upon Further Review, last review for the year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just thought about that. Anyway,
Yeah.
Dune Prophecy, the season one, episode six, the finale, not of the series, but of the season. Season two is coming very
Mm-hmm.
soon. All spoilers, man. The name of the episode is The High-Handed Enemy.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, one thing, first things first.
Mm-hmm.
I see people online really don't understand that everything can't be instantaneous when it comes to a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
And people said, like, I heard some people say, "Oh, I don't like the dialogue," or like, "I wasn't feeling the plot." I'm like, I'm not understanding what y'all thought y'all was gonna watch. The name of the show is called Dune Prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
Before it was like Dune the Sisterhood.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be about the origins of the Bene Gesserit. The Bene Gesserit, as a group, is this crazy, mysterious, mystical,
Mm-hmm.
mystifying,
Mm-hmm.
also kind of
Fanatic. Fanatical.
fanatical, maniacal group of women who
Mm-hmm.
run the entire Imperium,
Mm-hmm.
not even in the shadows, kind of openly running.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why they thought that this wasn't going to be a series that kind of explains the beginnings of that, while also tying in key elements of what we see in the current timeline in the movies, i.e., the Harkonnens, the Atreides, the Space Guild, and all the other crap. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
understand why they thought that this was going to be like I don't even have a comp for this. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
what they really thought.
Yeah, man. I really don't know what they thought. I will say this. They were smart in what they did, what this show did. They announced the week after the penultimate episode, hey, just to let you guys know, this is going to be this is going to be more than just one season because it was branded to us at first like this was going to be just a little mini
No
series,
miniseries. Yeah, it
mini
was. It
series,
was.
a mini series. But they basically was like, we're just letting you guys know that this is going to be kind of like a couple of seasons, and they did it before the finale, and I understand why because the way this finale ended, there was no way they could just be like, oh yeah, this is a mini series, surprise,
If
because
they would have
how.
ended this the way they did, I like you. Okay, you're gonna see just how like how we talk about how bad we talk about Netflix in our year in review. But like this
Mhm.
would have been a Netflix series because Netflix don't care that you love the show. They said,
Mhm.
"Hey, do we bring any new subscribers with this show? A couple
Mm.
100,000? Not worth it." So
Right.
yeah, but still Max and HBO, they're about, you know what I'm saying, actually making like decent properties and building
Uh-huh.
stuff for the most part. They
Yeah.
still, I mean, we already know David Zaslav done sliced half the daggone thing and is trying to sell the HBO side anyway and the Max side anyway. So it's like
Yeah.
it's a weird, we're in a weird place right now when it comes to
And
TV
they
and
just
film.
purchased the wrestling company AEW. So AEW is about to have some stuff
For
up.
real?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that's going to be on Max where AEW is going to have some stuff up there. Hey man,
Huh.
streaming is the way to go now. I mean, for my sports entertainment, aka wrestling fans out there, I mean, January the 6th, hilarious
Netflix.
day. WWE Monday Night Raw will now be on Netflix for the first time in like 30 years or even longer than that. No, really longer than that.
Since its inception, we won't be on
Inception
cable
Monday.
TV. Yeah.
Yeah, Monday Night Raw was always on cable TV, US, you know what I'm saying, USA, then it went to TNN a couple of times, but USA, even before it was Monday Night Raw, I remember it was primetime wrestling. They used to come on USA, but now it's moving over to Netflix. I mean, streaming is the way to go. We're
Yeah,
a little
man.
off, but I just
Yeah,
wanted
sorry for the little small
to
side, but
small
nah,
time.
like it's
Yeah.
it's real because I'm very glad that we're gonna have a season two because
Yes.
this episode gave us a couple of, kind of times for stuff up,
Well, more
but
questions.
then we got some cliff. Okay, I want to talk about I just want to get this out of the way first.
Let's go for it, baby.
Our homegirl Lila.
Can I say something real quick? Shout out to that young lady who's the actress for Lila. That little girl, and she might not even be a little girl. She might actually be like a teenager or something like that.
Her name is Chloe Leah. Chloe Leah is like, I think she's like 18.
Well, whatever she is acting, that girl is that
I
girl is
try,
acting.
I tried to tell you a couple episodes
That
ago,
girl is
like,
that girl is
yo,
that hold on. And let me get in my country dialect. That girl acting. That girl is acting, boy, for
nah,
real.
man. Shout out to Chloe Leah. You doing
Mhm.
an amazing job playing
Yes.
three different people so
Oh
far.
my God.
So,
Yes.
of course, the other episode we had her as Mother Rakella. Now we
Hmm.
now we have her as her great her great
That's
grandmother,
a I don't- is or is it just grandmother?
grandmother. I don't know. Either
Yeah.
way, her
Uh-huh.
one of her distant relatives, as in
Yeah.
Sister Dorothea,
Yeah.
and her performance as Sister Dorothea, as they start to realize that this is not this isn't Lila. You know what I'm saying? Because even the way that she jukes your girl at the beginning and
Hmm.
stabbed her with the sedative and then
Hmm.
locked her up into like the thickest pieces of plastic straps I've ever seen in my life.
Sir.
And I was like, good God, that's a lot of plastic. You
She
know what I'm
must have they
saying?
made them janks out the armbands you get back in the day. We used to go in the club, but even thicker than that, that go chain, yo, for real.
Yeah, that plastic like this thick. I'm like, nah, I understand. You must start rubbing that. You gonna burn your whole wrist
Uh,
off, yo.
for
So
real.
she got her out, and then she starts walking out, and she sees the sister that is really not about what's going on,
Yeah,
and she
to
has I forgot
Tula.
her. Her name is Tula.
Uh-huh.
So Tula has like the rest of the sisterhood in the cloak of what call it? The cloak of I'm gonna call it the cloak of silence because you can't
Right.
hear outside of it.
Uh,
And they talk like, hey man, everything's okay. It's crazy around here, but we're gonna try to figure this out and stay calm.
uh-huh.
And all of a sudden, Dad going Dorothea, aka Lila,
Oh,
just
my fault. That's not Tula. Tula is the Hark, the one
yeah, I
that's
was
in
like, Tula,
charge.
no, I
Yeah,
ain't
that's
with
not Tula. I'm,
Tula.
I'm
Why are you
sorry.
lying to me?
I'm
Anyway,
sorry.
it's
Uh-huh.
okay.
Cause
She like her name is I don't remember her name. It's
we
okay.
don't know. Truth Sayer sister number
Yeah.
13 or whatever. Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah,
she
she walks out and Dorothea walks out like, why y'all in the cloak of silence over here, guys? So what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Why the
yeah.
secrecy? And
Uh-huh.
they're like, oh my God, Lila, how are you even here? You know?
Uh-huh.
And it's like, where is my people at? And then she's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then she just busts out of that and is walking, and they're kind of just following behind her. And
Uh-huh.
the girl that they
They left in charge.
left in
Yeah.
charge, yeah, she
Uh,
was like, hey, that's not really that's
Lila.
not
Yeah, that's ain't
that's not
Lila.
Lala.
Yeah.
She not really herself right now. We got to kind of get her, reel
Yeah.
her in. And the funny thing was, they were so afraid of her. They just
Hmm.
let her just have free reign over the whole thing, the entire
Yeah.
episode. Wasn't
Yeah.
nobody questioning her.
Right. Anybody else have been like, you supposed to be dead. Like, what the hell are you doing here or whatever? She was just roaming around like, yo, where my people's at? Yo, where's sister this person, that person? The old girl was like, oh, we read about them. They're the lost ones, basically. And it's like, you know what they were? They are the equivalent to the Jedi that left the order, the Jedi masters that left the order that became Sith. Because she was just like, yeah, she's like, they're the lost ones or whatever. Like that shit. She was like, what do you mean lost? No, they're like, yeah, they due to the grief of losing, Sister Dorothea, they they killed themselves or whatever. She was like, she said committed suicide. She was like, girl, y'all get out my damn face with, she was like, get out my face with that. And so she's just researching and researching Lila, and she goes into like like the files, I guess, that shows like their version of the camera files and stuff. And then that sister that was sitting to watch her, they was like, "What are you doing?" She was like, "How were you able to get into this?" She was like, "Yeah, it's a file for all this stuff." And she's just like, "Yeah, I just need to see what's going on." And then that one sister who's like confused because she was praying, like they're the ones that's kind of still kind of loyal to the old ways and stuff, and they're not understanding what the hell is going on. They were like, "What is this?" And she finally tells her, like, "Yo, that ain't Lila. That's, she's Sister Dorothea." And I was like, "Wait a minute. What?
Yeah,
Sister
she said
Dorothea?
her ancestors are just
Are,
attacking
attacking. Yeah.
her.
Her and their ancestors are ravaging. They are just coming out of nowhere, like taking turn. It's, it, you know what it's like too? What's the movie? Oh God. The sequel to the second movie in the trilogy for the uh, you know, try, the Glass trilogy. The second movie, when my man got they got all the multiple
Oh,
personalities
it's on
in his
Switch.
Switch, right? And like, remember how they described it? There was like, who's sitting in the chair right now? Whoever's in the chair is person control. That's what's going on right now with Lila. Dorothea's in control right now, and we're just gonna go ahead and knock out this
Hmm.
part of it. So Dorothea is like, "Yo, them Harkonnen sisters are some bull. This is where they yo, I didn't commit no suicide. This is where this bitch killed me, saying killed me." And they're like, "What?" And then she was like, "And it seemed like she killed my followers too." And they're like, what are you talking about?" And she goes over to like where this, I guess, their version of like a converter box thing is. She pulls it open, flips it, and there's a pool, like a pool inside this area, and it starts to drain out. We see in the flashback that after Dorothea is dead, her followers are in the silence, zone realm thing that they have on them, and they're like praying and speaking. And Valia comes in, and she's like, "I am the new Reverend Mother," and they're like, "Yeah." Yeah, we ain't really rocking with you like that. For real, they are not. And so Valia has her sister, and she has these two other followers with her. And they're like, "Yeah, y'all need to pick a side or whatever, what y'all gonna do." And they like, "What, girl, get the hell out, saying, get the hell out of here." And every last one of them begin to use the voice on all those girls, but like I said, they're in that cone of silence where you can't hear nothing. And I love that shot they have where it's a camera shot outside, and you see they just start killing it. They're killing themselves. They're like, "Choose a side," and the people like that are faithful to Dorothy are like, "Shit, F you," and they unwillingly kill themselves. And like you see, it's like 12 of them. They're all killing themselves. Yep, all of them killing themselves. Like, choose a side, choose your side. The only one that's left is old girl. That's the old soothsayer right now who called what they were doing abomination when Tula was in charge. And she was shook. This is a younger version of her, but she is shook. And she didn't kill herself because she was so scared to death of what happened. And he go, "Valia, it is okay. You've chosen, but this is must stay quiet. You can't say anything of this." So she know what the hell happened, but she was scared to death, what I'm saying, to do it. So what we end up seeing is the pool has been at the end of the show, the pool has been drained, and you see all of the dead bodies, the skeletal remains of all those women who followed Dorothea. And Dorothea was like, "This is what the Harkonnens did. They killed my followers. They didn't just willingly leave or commit suicide. This is what they did. This order has lost its way. But with me in charge now, we're gonna be back the way things are gonna, saying things should be." And what does Dorothea, saying, Dorothea possessing Lila do? They go in there with the thinking computer that does the bio thing, and she destroys it. And that is the end of that arc right there.
Yeah, man. And like, and that when I mean that leaves us on the biggest cliffhanger
Hmm.
of the entire time, because like as we're going through the episode, we flash back to the entire time with Tula,
Uh-huh.
because we see that we confirm that
Tula is
Tula has a son, and her son is
Desmond.
Desmond,
Uh-huh.
and me talking about it, have a conversation about how um got pregnant, tells
Right.
her sister's
So
like,
we know who the father is. The father is the Atreides guy that she killed when she went to the camp to kill
yeah,
the
yeah,
Atreides
yeah,
that killed her
yeah.
brother. So it's that one that she was going to marry. He is the father. So could remember in the last episode, it was like, oh, this guy has the bloodline of the Atreides and the Harkonnen.
Harkonnen.
And that's why Tula had that look on her face like, oh, snap.
I hope this ain't who I think
I
it
mean,
is.
she knew it was because they were just like, yo, that's the only, them families hate each other so much. That's the only time that them
Yeah,
bloodlines
they
cross.
intermingle. Yeah,
Yeah.
so she it's basically it no, and plainly confirms that.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's it called? Yo, Valley is some trash. And like Valley says, oh, you for real? Well, this will definitely work to our advantage. And start scheming.
You want to keep it?
You want to keep
She like, want to keep it? Good.
do you want the baby or not? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And she said, oh yeah, definitely. Thank you. And
Uh-huh.
her mind starts calculating plans. And Sula to her just kind of to her chagrin was like, man, I ain't really trying to
I really don't want my
I
kid to
don't
go
really want
through
my
this.
kid to be going through this, man. Like I ain't really down with all this, but
Yeah.
it's sisters
Before
above
everything.
all.
Also,
And
too, I love in that flashback, we see how that machine works too, as far as that thinking machine, as far as who will what they'll create in Bloodwise, because we see early first of all, we finally figured out how to pronounce this man's name, Havako.
yeah, Haviko.
Haviko.
That was a soft J the entire time.
Soft J. so so Havako, you know Valia pulls it up back when she was a teenager and shows that yes, hey, it says that we need to keep Carino Havako. Great. He's going to be next in line to the throne. Who would his match be? And that's what they said, Natalia. But it was like, she's too young right now. And he kind of just, mind is all over the place. Well,
And what do we say? Easily to be manipulated.
manipulate. He's,
What I said. I said, man, it gotta have him because he a punk.
yeah.
That's the only reason.
Yeah. And what do we see happen? They like, yeah, we're going to send Francesca to keep his mind occupied until he's ready to, what I'm saying, to marry Natalia to be, the king, but to be the emperor. But in the process of all that, then she kicks the other sisters out and she shows Tula, hey, this is what your kid gonna be right here. This,
Uh-huh.
this is your kid right here. What I'm saying, with our tutelage, do you know what this boy can do? we gon' we gonna make him make him be it or whatever. That's funny as hell. By the It's funny as
Damn,
hell.
it's my whole face.
But what's even more crazy is this goes back to what I said last week, Rashad. I think they should have got a younger actor to play Desmond because Desmond looked like he like he the same age as Valia.
Nah, man, he like
But he got a
Obi.
rough.
He
He
like
got the
Obi-Wan Kenobi. He been in the
right.
desert. The
Yeah,
desert put some years on
as
him.
but as our grandparents and stuff would say, the boy just had a rough life. So he all right. He just, that's black grandparents right there of our generation. When they see somebody, they be like, "How old is he? He what? Looking like that? That boy just had a rough life. That
Well,
girl
he
had
had
a
a they
he
had
had
a
a
rough
rough
life, man.
he had a rough life, poor baby.
Should give some grace. Show
Give us
some
a
grace.
right. So all of that, that's what we see, and also too, what ends up happening, we see that Tula gives birth to young Desmond, but she's like, "Hey, you're gonna do great things." She tell it's like the help you was kind, you was you was beautiful, you smart. But she's like, I don't want you to go through this life. I don't want you to go through this bull. So she gets one of the other sisters to be like, hey,
That was Kasha, right?
yeah, Kasha. She's like, hey, what I need for you to do is to find another child. And apparently, like I forget, I think one of the emperors or somebody gave birth to a stillborn. They swapped it out and they swapped the stillborn out with Desmond. And then that's when Desmond got sent to Arrakis, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. And that also in the process of this episode, we see we kind of get an understanding, but not really, of the virus that Desmond is able to use to kill. It's like an airborne technovirus almost, but he is able to control it. It's like you know, it's almost like that the virus from
It's
X-Men.
like Cable,
Yeah, like
the
Cable.
techno organic virus.
Right, it's like a techno organic virus, and then like the healing truthsayer that came to try to help them find out what was going on. She was like, I think I can help come up with an antidote. That failed miserably. She it was like it was like every time she was able to separate the good stuff to do it, that virus kept saying nope, multiplying too fast, and it finally killed her. So they were able to get an understanding of this virus. But they just kept wondering, like, how is he able to,
To control it.
to control this? But we find this out a little bit later on. So you want to continue the whole value and all right. So we get into present day where where this dealing with the emperor now and Valia and Tuya. Natalia and Desmond, after Desmond got a chance to clap the queen's cheeks, is now with her. And they're planning on basically being like, yo, Havakio is a wimp. We're going to run this Imperium, and we're gonna let them know that we're running this Imperium. They find, first of all, their daughter, Inez, trying to release her lover, Kyrian. And the mom was like, and she's like, Ma, look, you right about dad. This stuff is crazy. I'm with you. She's like, man, I wish you would have said something sooner. Arrest her. And so they arrest her. And Havakio is trying to figure out what's going on. He doesn't know what's going on because he's too busy getting that old thing
Getting
back with
that
old
old thing
with
back.
Francesca. I mean, I don't blame him. The actress that's playing Francesca is kind of bad. Just want to say that, by the way. So they in the bed, and he's like telling her, "Look, you don't need to go nowhere. You can stay here with me.
Yeah.
My wife, she wants power. I'm gonna send her off world to be a diplomat, and you can just be here with me." And by this time, he's been notified that, hey, Yanez has been arrested. He goes to confront Natalia. Woman, what the hell you doing arresting the daughter? And she says, oh, she tried to do this. He was like, what? Man, I don't care. You should have said this to me. And then she was like, well, you should have told me that you about to send me off world and have it stand here doing it. He was like, you said you wanted more, saying stuff to do, more interest into the Imperium, just give you a chance to go intermingle and talk to the people. Then Desmond come around and be like, this ain't gonna happen. And he was like, yo, I thought you said you was loyal to House Carino and this and that. And he was like,
Then you made your
you
choice.
made your, you chose the true sayer because you clapping them cheeks. And they was just like, look, you're going to be the emperor in name, but guess what? Everything is going to run through us. And he was like distraught. And like in the process of all this, he had already got word that, hey, I want to talk to
Valia.
Mother Valia. So before he talks to Valia, Valia was able to meet up along with Theodora, meet up with Francesca, and was it somebody? It was one more person too. I can't think of who it was. They met up and they talked about what the plan is going to do. Because Francesca said, "Hey, they arrested the daughter, Desmond and them in charge," and then Valia's like, "Cool, this is how I want to do it." Then she was like, "By the way, Havako want to talk to you." She was like, "Perfect, everything is falling into play." She was like, first of all, I'm gonna get to Inez and free her because that's who we want to put on the throne. And she was like, how you gonna do that? She says, girl, I'm gonna get arrested. What else? How else am I gonna be able to do this? So, she talks about that. And then they say in the process, what they're gonna, saying they tell Francesca, look here, we gonna need you to take this motherfucker out.
Yeah.
And she was like, and he was like, look. And then what she said, you knew this day was gonna come, possibly. There's like, this man is weak, and we need to put our own on the throne. And so that's the whole plan. So Mother Valia goes to the palace, and the guards stop her because remember, she is banned from the palace. And she was like, hey, Emperor Havako said he wanted to talk to me. They take her to go see Havako. Why is she sitting on the throne and Havako walks in to see her? This is after Havako then had his meeting with, what I'm saying, his wife and Desmond, and they done told him, hey, we're gonna use you for this. And he's like, oh yeah, I forgot. I said I want to talk to Valia. Mother Valia, please help me here. I have seen my wayward ways. If you help me get rid of this mofo and let me be able to divorce my wife, I will do. And she's like, you ain't do nothing but choose one. She says, you a puppet and you've nothing but change one puppet master to the other. He said, huh? Do you, yo, the way she completely undressed that man, Rashad, and he real it's like even in real life when someone realized like when the epiphany happens and they get realized that oh things ain't the way they seem. She said he said your life has been chosen ever since you was a child. We chose the life. We chose all this stuff for you, but you chose them. So he was like, I'm not going to help you. It is what it is. Your rule ain't for long. We just want your daughter on the throne. You and then he was like, "What, French? You think she loved you? Man, we sent her to keep you occupied until it was." And I mean, he just looked, and then he just guards arrest her. And and she was just like, "That's the plan." And she walks away. They go to the holding cells, and what happened, Rashad?
Basically, uses the voice and like gets the Trades kid and
Mm-hmm.
Yanez free because Yanez was like, I'm not leaving without
Mm-hmm.
my penis. And she was like, it's you making this harder than what it should be. She said,
Mm-hmm.
I don't, I'm not good. I'm not asking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So even in all that, I just want to take a quick step back.
I'm sorry. I ain't mean to go
No,
there.
no, you good. We're here. The fact that even though she was like on the throne, right? And Haviko came in there begging and pleading, she still went scorched earth.
Yes.
Like that was so funny and also
Mm-hmm.
unnecessary because even the fact that she told like, look, man, like Francesca don't love you for real, and this is the
Hmm.
part where I think people are kind of not getting the whole like actual like the storyline of this all
Hmm.
and the dialogue because she's already told you and we know that she still has hella feelings for this man. You know what I'm saying?
You know
And
what
and
happened, Rashad?
no, no, hold on, let me finish my
Uh-huh.
thought. Because a couple of scenes before that, they had a meeting. It's like, look, yo, you got to use the Gom Jabbar, aka the high-handed enemy,
Hmm.
to kill the king. Like you're
Hmm.
gonna kill the king on the low. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And even in that conversation, she still tells him like, look, yo, your reign as emperor is coming to an end, and does not care
Hmm.
that she could jeopardize her Francesca actually being close enough to kill him.
Hmm.
So like that like so that's what I'm saying. Like so Valia has this recklessness about what she does, even though it's
Hmm.
very planned and meticulous. It's
Hmm.
like, yo, her pride was so hurt that she was like, you know what? F it. And that's why I'm glad and I'm glad that they understand that even though she's a sister,
Hmm.
she's a reverend mother,
Hmm.
above all else, she's a Harkonnen.
Cold. Yep.
And them
Hmm.
Harkonnens don't care.
Mm-mm.
So that's like that whole scene setup for me was like, man, like she just go, she don't even, she said, man, F his plan, yo. I'm about to tell you what I did.
You know what she basically she pulled her. Let Cersei know it was me.
Yeah,
But
yeah, the
basically,
high
but
towers.
let Cersei know it was me. What's also funny is the whole time that she basically was when she got to the Francesca part of roasting him. The only song that came to my head was, "Is that your chick?" We share that girl. Let me give her daddy earlier, make him sick, but his favorite chick, ex saving it, ungrateful. Yeah.
Wow.
And he was just like, and when she basically wanted to go. One big part of the plan too that we forgot to talk about as well was Sister Theodora or whatever.
Theodosia.
Theodosia. Sister Theodosia apparently is part of a race of people that are shapeshifters, and we saw that early on. So part of the plan was, hey, she was going to shapeshift into Yanez.
And she was experimenting on stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, I was experimenting on and this and that, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, yeah, I know. She was like, yeah, I'm alive and I'm who I am because Sister Valia gave me refuge and I'm here. So she is devout to you know what I'm saying, Sister Reverend Mother Valia. And so when they go in there to break them out, Thessaldotia comes in and they like, and like even Kieran was like, oh, snap. And by this time, their plan has been figured out because people has been like, yo, Reverend Mother has been sent to the cells. And he is like, of course
And
Desmond said,
Desmond was pissed.
of course. He said, ring the
Sound the
alarm.
alarm, lock down the building.
He was hot. And so that kind of put a dent in their plan a little bit. That's the dose, and like, she was like, hey girl, this might not end well for you, and she's just like, eh,
It is what it is.
it is what it is. So she don't even go through with her plan. So she actually turns into one of the guards that they killed, and it's not acting like it. And then Desmond bends over and was like, "Hey, yo, you good? Like, hey, what happened?" You're like, "Valia, what? Valia, Valia?" And then it stabs like, shanks him. And he's like, "Oh snap!" And what's crazy is, did he stab her back, or she just basically gave up? I guess did she kill herself,
She
or
didn't die.
she didn't die? That's
I
right,
don't.
she did.
I don't think she's
It's
dead.
like her body is no. He said lock her up and put
Yeah,
her up.
yeah,
So
because he punched her and knocked her out.
oh
So that
yeah,
kind of like broke her hold of it being able to keep that
yeah,
shape. So she started
yeah,
shapeshifting back into her
herself,
regular form.
right, as well. And so you see what's going on next is they get away from the castle and they're like, yo, we got to go to a port before they lock everything down. You got Valia, Yanez, and Kieran. What happens is they get to the port. She Valia stops, looks at Kieran, and says, "Hey, take care of her." He was like, "Nigga, you a Harkonnen. I'm not doing this for you. I am doing this for her because I love her, and we getting her out of here." He's like, "What you gonna do?" She was like, "I'm gonna give y'all time." And then we proceed to see like things finally fall through. She's able to kill all these guards except for um
Desmond.
Desmond. They have a standoff or whatever, and Desmond starts to like unleash the virus on her. He do, but it's like she's fighting back too a little bit, and then she goes back into her little like a flashback trip where we see how she saved her brother Gabriel. Remember they said he fell through the ice.
Yeah,
And that's the first time she used the voice to tell him to swim, and he was able to swim to get free. And and somehow, if I'm not mistaken, he passes out from his wound that he had.
yeah, yeah. So he's
Yeah,
yeah, so he's knocked out.
because that thing puts a strain on him trying to
Yeah,
use that
yeah.
that
So
thing, and plus he
yeah,
had the
yeah,
wound. Yeah.
yeah. So he
Uh-huh.
was there like, looking like Mariah Carey in the studio with his finger up, and oh yeah, don't forget like so it's in between all of this.
Uh-huh.
There's so she's using the voice to kill the guards.
Uh-huh.
Um, a Atreides boy and Yanez have their Last Jedi Ray and
Hey,
what's
hey,
what's the mother name? Yeah, Ray,
Kylo.
they had a Ray and Kylo scene.
Yeah,
Like they like did murked all them boys, and then they
yeah.
go off to the try to get to the because they're trying to get to the ship. They had to go to the port. You know
Uh-huh.
what I'm saying? So they can get to a ship to
Yeah.
get off planet.
Uh-huh.
And in that time, we see Tula leaves is already off
Yeah.
of Wallach Nine. She's already off
Right.
planet.
Yeah. And
And
by this time,
by
Layla
the
has
time,
already
yeah,
exposed everything with them.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So she gets off planet, and then she gets on to whatever name this planet is, and ends up using like some voice to find her sister.
Mm-hmm.
So finds her sister, and then because remember, she understands that look, the virus focus on fear,
Uh-huh.
and you got to be able to actually face your fear and let go of that fear, which was the connection for me. So if we go
Uh-huh.
back to the first episode,
Mm-hmm.
when we see Desmond on the little hollow picture thing, and we
Mm-hmm.
see him arms wide
Go
open. You
better.
know what I'm saying? And he gets swallowed up by the
Mm-hmm.
worm. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
what happens physically happens metaphorically
Mm-hmm.
for Tally. Because yo, that dream sequence,
And then we see what the blue eyes really are too.
bruh, like that
Yo.
whole sequence was amazing. Like
Yeah.
her being on the on her home world
Uh-huh.
on the ice, and then her flipping like, look, hey, I'm afraid, I'm scared. Her brother saying, look, you killed all of us, so that fear coming back up, and then her having to
Mm-hmm.
fight that fear, and
Mm-hmm.
then her realizing she has to let go, and
Mm-hmm.
it makes a seamless transition to Arrakis, and
Mm-hmm.
then we get see the worm in the background.
Yeah.
And then you see she gets swallowed by the worm. We see the the weird kind of noise, which we now realize
Uh-huh.
those noise were the thinking machines.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
So yeah, the thinking machines basically worked on him, and so Desmond is like a cyborg type thing almost, but not really. So that may be why that is basically how he's able to control that
hmm
nano virus type, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Type thing.
So essentially, like if the virus is a is like how can I say this? If the virus is like kind of like little pieces of thing that's in the air,
Hmm.
okay. He's the detonator.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying
Right.
of those things. So and then we can even see that he can do it from far away too. So it's
Right.
just as long as as long as he's been like basically the virus is imprinted on them,
Uh-huh.
he can start up any time.
Because even earlier in the episode, the machine was when they was figuring out this virus, they was like, "Yeah, this is that," and they was like, "Well, how can we fit this?" And the machine said, "Well, the best way to do it is to kill Desmond." You know what I'm saying? And it won't have to worry about it, no more. So that's how that is working. And by this time, Tuya arrives and she sees Valia passed out. She sees Desmond there, and then what happened, Rashad? It was like he starts to come to, and she's like having a moment with him, and
Yeah,
she's kind
yeah,
of apologizing, but not really
yeah.
apologizing to him.
Because he's just basically like saying like, look, yo, like because he's trying to like get at her. And she's like, nah, like I'm your like Luke, I'm your father type
Uh-huh.
thing, and and she essentially tells what you call it her sister like, look, you're not gonna kill him. The kid is my son. And she's like,
Hmm.
how? Look, yo, I gave you everything. I wasn't gonna give you this.
Hmm.
And she's like, Valia, so on job. Was like, are you sure you want to do this? She's like, yeah, I do. Peace.
Hmm.
So We see Valia, Inez, and Mr. Arrakis.
Uh,
I mean, Mr.
Trey
Atreides.
Kieran, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. Let me start over. We see Valia,
Uh,
Inez, and Kieran go to
uh,
Arrakis, and
uh,
like they. Okay, so this is the funny part for me. Um, Sula and Desmond are there, and Desmond is like very shocked. One, that he's alive.
mm-hmm,
Two, that he has a revelation that, oh, this is my mom.
mm-hmm,
Three, that his mom is actually, you know what I'm saying, actually can see his mom
mm-hmm,
in the space witch which he hates so much. Because he
mm-hmm.
already knew that his mother
Yeah, was a true sayer. Yeah.
was a sister.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's standing there like, get your hands off me, girl. I don't want to hug you. And she ends up like softening him because only thing that really he ever wanted was a
Was the kid.
mom.
Yeah,
He just wanted a mom. He needed a
yeah,
mother's touch.
yeah.
That's why he was so rough around the edges. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just need a hug from good old mom. And he got that. Then he was like, God's arrest her.
Yeah.
And that's how that ends.
Uh-huh.
And
And that's basically
that's it.
oh,
What else?
we need to finish up the Havakio thing with
Oh, yeah. So
Francesca.
so so in between all this nonsense, back at
The palace.
the palace, Francesca runs into, matter of fact, right after the whole meeting with Sula,
Um,
Francesca goes into his quarters, is like, hey, what's up? And he's like, man, get away from me, y'all.
yeah.
Y'all did me wrong. And she's like, but I loved you. You know
You
what I'm
know,
saying?
he
Like,
he had away with the G money. You embarrassed me, man. In front of all these people. You embarrassed me.
not G Money.
You embarrassed me, man. In front of all those people.
Oh man, that's such a good reference. New Jack City,
New Jack.
1991. If you haven't
Yeah.
seen it, go look it up. But yeah, so they're having this little very quick back and forth, and
Hmm.
because she's like, "Look, yo, I was about to kill you,
Yeah. She was like, here.
but I'm not."
It's the thing, right? Hmm.
Yes, you know why? Because I love you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna
Hmm.
kill you. And then he's not. He's still like, man.
He don't know what to believe, man.
He was
He
like
don't know what to believe.
he was like Anne Hathaway in Interstellar. But the lie, such a horrible lie.
Yeah.
And okay, so and this next part is real crazy. He ends up committing seppuku
Yeah.
because he was like, "Look, yo, I can't do this no more. I'm nothing." So she kind of like embraces him, like, "Why did you do this?" And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, guess who steps in the room?
Natalia.
Francesca.
No, that was Natalia.
I'm sorry. Natalia.
Natalia. Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. Francesca's holding her. So Natalia comes in from behind, is like,
Bink. And and you know Natalia enjoyed every millisecond of killing Francesca like that.
she was
And
like,
I thought that Natalia next was about to do the cold thing. Save Pavacchio and just be like, yeah, this woman loved you and you loved her. She ain't here no more. No, she just straight up was like, the Emperor's dead. They killed the Emperor.
yeah,
And left.
and made it look like a murder suicide.
Yeah. It was that scene was giving showing signs for me of like Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, I thought the same
Very,
thing.
very Romeo and Juliet. But hey, them two died together. They really loved each other. Even though he was confused about that love, he still did love her. And now what do you have left? You know what I'm saying? So that's basically what happened this episode. So this is what you got left now. You have basically Natalia and Desmond running the Imperium,
Yep.
and they got to let the great houses know because
Somebody gotta know.
the heir Inez is on the run. Is on the run. I don't think Natalia's gonna want Constantine, her bastard stepson, to, so the bastard stepson to, because he's running the naval space fleet right now.
Yeah,
Valia is on the run along with Kieran and Yanez. Um, Lila has let the whole sisterhood know, hey, them Harkonnen heifers suck, and they killed me. They killed my folks, and hey, we reorganizing this whole organization right now. Let alone Lila is still stuck inside there somewhere, and she needs to try to crawl her way out from the rest of her ancestors. And Tula has reconnected with her pyromaniac son. That Her pyromaniac son Desmond. And Desmond, I think if Desmond didn't know that was his mother, he would have burnt her to a crisp and killed her. But like you said, he just wants his mom. She's alive, but she's locked up. And now you have Arrakis in play here on this situation. And if you think about it, who is on Arrakis along with Yanez, Valia, and Kieran? Makila. Remember, she left.
yeah, Michaela's there, and you
Yeah,
already know Constantine is going to be there too, because that's where he's supposed to be
right,
going.
right. So I don't know how many more seasons this is going to be. I'm gonna guess maybe three, maybe. You know what I'm saying? They might stretch it out, who knows? But this is a pretty good show. And this was, like I said, this is probably our sleeper show of the year. We like the property of Doom, but we weren't expecting much. But they really did a good job kind of grabbing us in and
Yeah,
and making us wonder what's going to happen. I don't know when the next season is going to start. I don't think they're going to have a season next year, and probably
nah, they probably won't have a season
26.
until 26, 27 at the latest. It's either going to be before Doom Messiah or after Doom Messiah,
Yeah,
because to maximize, just thinking about like money and stuff, to
yeah,
maximize it, they should film it at around the same time because they're gonna have all the sets, they're gonna have all the assets, especially if we're gonna be heavily on Arrakis. There's no need for them to. They could easily send a second team in to do this stuff on Arrakis using the
you're
same
right.
film set. And now I'm saying, and minimize the amount of money they have to spend on special effects.
Because it's just like with House of the Dragon, they're like doing it around the same. They've been shooting A Knight's Tale, Duncan Egg, and House of the Dragon is gonna pick right on up where they shooting. I think starting this summer, right after they finish doing it,
Yeah,
and I think Duncan Egg premieres
next summer.
this this summer coming up. So I mean, yeah, this is a great show. If you're not on it, you need to get on it. If I can understand that how people who can get confused on things, because I'm not gonna lie, the Dune universe can be very, very, very confusing if you haven't, to my understanding, read the books.
Nah, it's dense. I can't lie,
Yeah,
it is. But
yeah,
I like, and somebody said that like this is so like he was like slow and it's dense. I'm like,
I
this
like
thing
that.
has like 12 books. Like you understand that the property that this is based off just
Hmm.
came out in like 2012. So like they're still
Hmm.
continuing writing
Hmm.
about this world.
Yeah, this part of the
And
world, yeah, because
yeah,
the first book was written like what, 71, if I'm not mistaken. Dune.
John was like in the early 60s.
Yeah, and believe it or not, if you claim to be a sci-fi fan, the Dune property is the probably the ultimate sci-fi, because just about every sci-fi movie that or show that you've seen is somewhat based off of or taken away from Dune. I mean, the first Dune book is the highest selling and most read sci-fi novel of all time. So it is what it is. I mean, some of you Star Wars fans who say you don't like Dune, guess what? George Lucas sat there and said that was an inspiration for him for doing the whole Star Wars universe.
He said, "Yeah, let me just strip this down."
Yeah, pretty much. So
and simplify this because this is dense.
yeah, but yeah, I give this season. What grade would you give this season, Rashawn?
Oh man, this is like a strong A minus for me.
Yeah, I said B plus A minus. B plus A minus or whatever. Some things that could have been done better, but then again, like I said, now that we know it is going to be another season of this show, we could go a little bit further into
Yeah,
some things
we can expand some stuff.
and
We
I
can
really
actually talk
yeah.
about the Fremen on Arrakis, and
Hmm.
that whole like we can even see how the the Reverend Mothers were established on that planet because we know
Yeah.
that they have one with the Fremen. So
Hmm.
yeah, so I'm saying like all the things that I kind of wanted answers for
Hmm.
or just was curious about, like we actually got that, and like
Yeah.
we got it in the series, and it's still keeping a lot of the mystery for this. I just can't like we saw like Chloe Leah. We can't wait to see what you
Yeah.
bring
Yeah.
in season two with your
Yeah.
characters.
Mm. Right.
Definitely the MVP of this whole thing.
Yeah.
Like I thought older Valia was playing like the cutthroat and did a really good job with that. But like Chloe Leah, man, like unexpected delight. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
We really love that, man. But yeah, this show is a really strong A minus, man. Like I said, it could have been a couple of
Hmm.
things better, but for the most
Hmm.
part, I had a very enjoyable time watching this.
Very much. Same thing here. Same thing here. So, y'all, that's the last show that we are reviewing for 2024. Now, before we get started, say that. Now, after saying that, I know some of y'all are like, "Hey, what happened to What If?" What if they're dropping an episode every day? We would love to do that, but this is the holiday season. We got families and we got lives and we got stuff we got to do. So we're going to wait until after What If is completely done, and we will review that. That'll probably be in the first thing we review in 2025, along with the next thing will probably be Creatures Commandos, because I know that's going on right now. We've been hyping that up as well. But
Yep.
this is it. Be on the lookout for the year in review 2024, where me and Rashad are going to give our superlatives, what we like, what we didn't like, what disappointed us, or whatever. And then we will also be giving you a preview of things to come that we're interested in that's going to be coming out in 2025.
Yeah.
Also, go ahead, Rashad. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Just yeah, heads up. The year in review
Hmm.
drops the 26th at 7 p.m.
Okay. Yep. And then the next thing, we got some things cooking that we're working on. Some things cooking up that we're working on, flipping the bricks, all that good stuff. We're gonna let you know some stuff that we got working on. You know what I'm saying? Me and Rashad have discussed a few things, and we got some more things to discuss. But we'll let you guys know what's going on. No, we ain't breaking up. For anybody that may think we're not breaking
Nah,
up,
nah, nah. This ain't a
nah,
breakup. This is
this ain't a breakup. It's a
this is a vow renewal.
a- yeah, this is a renewal, baby. This is about to be what you call a fresh coat of paint, baby. If
Yeah,
we about to put on this thing, baby. So yeah, yeah, that's what we got going on. That's pretty much it. Once again, I hope everyone has a happy, safe, prosperous holiday season.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else from you, Rashawn?
Nah, man. 2025.
2025, y'all. Thank you very much. 2024 has been great. See y'all later.
Peace.